Have you ever felt a presence within you that refuses to be silenced? A calling so deep it rattles your bones, yet so subtle that the world cannot see it. If you are watching this, know this first. You are not here by accident. There is a force that has been shaping you, testing you, and guiding you long before you could even name it. The prophets spoke of chosen ones, souls awakened before their time, carrying a weight invisible to the untrained eye, yet undeniable to the spirit. You may have felt isolated, misunderstood, or delayed, as though life itself conspires against you. But every trial, every moment of confusion, every restless night is not punishment, it is initiation. The universe, the divine, or whatever sacred presence you believe in, has been preparing you for something far greater than mere survival. Tonight, we will peel back the veil. We will confront the truths others fear to speak, the spiritual realities your soul already knows, and the power that has been quietly growing within you. This message may be difficult to believe, but by the end, you will see why every struggle, every delay, every feeling of being different has been perfectly orchestrated. You are chosen, and your awakening starts now. I will take you through this journey every step. Stay put to this channel, subscribe, like, comment, share. Let's dive in deeper as we discover the mystery behind your existence as a chosen one, and why it will be difficult for you to believe. Number 1. Your confusion is proof of selection. If you were not chosen, your life would move in straight lines. Your dreams would fit neatly into the expectations placed before you. You would wake up certain of who you are and where you belong. But that is not your story. Instead, you carry a quiet unrest, an inner tension that follows you even in moments of success. That feeling is not weakness, it is evidence. Chosen ones are awakened early, often long before they are given the language to understand what they're sensing. Your confusion is not ignorance, it is expansion happening faster than explanation. You see too much, feel too deeply, and question what others accept without thought. This is why clarity arrives in fragments, like flashes of lightning in a dark sky. Each glimpse prepares you for a larger truth. The world labels confusion as a problem, but spiritually, it is a sacred space. Confusion is the womb where revelation forms. Before truth can be carried with strength, it must first be carried with uncertainty. That tension you feel is your soul stretching beyond old identities, old roles, and borrowed beliefs. One day, what feels chaotic will align. And when it does, you will realize that your confusion was never meant to break you. It was meant to initiate you. Number 2, you were delayed because you were dangerous. Your delays were never a sign of rejection. They were a sign of power without boundaries. The universe did not slow you down to humble you or test your patience. It slowed you down because your presence carries impact. Had you arrived too early, you would have shattered systems you had not yet learned how to navigate with wisdom. You were never meant to fit in quietly. You were meant to change things carefully. Unrefined power is destructive, even when the intention is pure. That is why your progress felt blocked while others moved ahead effortlessly. You were being trained in restraint, awareness, and timing. What looked like stagnation was actually containment, like fire held within stone, gaining intensity instead of burning everything at once. During your delays, your character was being forged. You learned how to observe before acting, how to endure before leading, how to listen before speaking. These lessons were not optional, they were necessary safeguards. Without them, your influence would have caused harm, including to yourself. Now understand this. Delay is not denial, it is calibration. The universe was teaching you how to carry your power without wasting it. When your time finally opens, you will move with precision instead of chaos. And only then will you see that what frustrated you was actually protecting everyone involved, including you. Number 3, your isolation was a spiritual requirement. Your isolation was not an accident, and it was not cruelty. It was preparation. Chosen ones are often separated long before they are revealed, not because they are superior, but because they are sensitive to deeper frequencies. Your spirit needed quiet to develop clarity. In crowds, your signal would have been distorted. What felt like loneliness was actually spiritual training. While others bonded through noise, distraction, and constant validation, you were being taught how to stand without witnesses. Solitude stripped you of borrowed identities and forced you to meet yourself without masks. This was necessary. A calling cannot rest on approval, it must rest on conviction. Isolation sharpened your discernment. You learned to recognize truth without consensus, direction without applause, and strength without support. In silence, your intuition grew louder. In absence, your awareness deepened. You began hearing instructions others would miss entirely because their lives are too crowded to listen. The pain of separation was the cost of clarity. The universe was tuning you, removing interference, refining your sensitivity. When the time comes for you to re-enter the world, you will move with purpose instead of confusion, and you will realize that isolation never meant you were forgotten. It meant you were being prepared for a role that requires inner authority, not external affirmation. Number 4. People project onto you what they refuse to face. You are not misunderstood because you are unclear. You are misunderstood because you are revealing. Your presence quietly exposes what others have spent years avoiding. Without confrontation, without explanation, without effort, you mirror back the truths people are not ready to see in themselves. And when truth appears without invitation, resistance follows. Notice how reactions to you are often disproportionate. You are labeled intimidating, distant, arrogant, or strange, yet you did nothing to earn those judgments. That is projection at work. People place their unresolved fears, insecurities, and unhealed wounds onto you because it is easier than facing them within. You become the screen onto which they cast their inner conflict. This is not accidental. Light does not need permission to illuminate a room. It simply enters, and whatever has been hidden becomes visible. Some will be grateful for that clarity. Others will resent you for it. The discomfort you provoke is not about who you are. It is about what you awaken. Chosen ones often suffer silent rejection for this reason. You disrupt illusions just by existing. Understand this. You are not meant to argue your truth or dim your presence to be accepted. Your role is revelation, not explanation. Those ready to grow will recognize you. Those who aren't will resist you. Both responses confirm your purpose. Number 5. You survived what was meant to end your lineage. What you endured was never random. Some battles in your life were not personal attacks, they were strategic. They were aimed at what flows through you, not just who you are. Long before you understood your purpose, something recognized the threat of your future and attempted to stop it at the root. The pain you survived was meant to erase a continuation. That is why the trials felt excessive. The loss, the betrayal, the near-ending moments, those weren't ordinary hardships. They were attempts to fracture your spirit, to make you abandon the path before you ever saw where it led. But you're still here, and survival, in your case, is not luck. It is proof of protection. When you lived through what should have broken you, something changed. You crossed an invisible threshold. Survival became initiation. Pain became activation. You didn't just endure, you were marked. Marked with depth, discernment, and a quiet authority that cannot be taught. What tried to destroy you only revealed what you carry: continuity, impact, legacy. You are not just living for yourself, you are carrying something meant to outlive you. That is why you were targeted so early and why you were preserved. The future you hold could not be erased, only delayed. Number 6. You feel called yet unqualified by design. The tension between your calling and your confidence is intentional. Chosen ones almost never feel ready, because readiness built on certainty would breed pride. If you felt fully qualified too early, you would rely on ego instead of guidance. So the universe allows the calling to arrive first loud, undeniable, and heavy, while the capacity comes slowly, in stages. That feeling of inadequacy is not evidence of weakness. It is evidence of humility being preserved. You are aware of the weight of what you're meant to carry, and that awareness keeps you teachable. You listen more than you boast. You question yourself instead of assuming mastery. This posture protects the mission from corruption. Notice how the calling doesn't leave, even when doubt rises. That's because it was never dependent on your current skill set. You were chosen for your willingness to grow, not your ability to perform perfectly from the start. Expansion requires discomfort. Authority requires reverence. The universe entrusts great assignments only to those who understand their own limits. In time, your capacity will catch up to your calling, but by then, your character will be strong enough to hold it. What feels like unqualification today is simply the space where growth is being prepared. Number 7. Your discomfort with comfort is a warning system. Peace and complacency are not the same, and your spirit knows the difference. When life becomes too comfortable, something in you grows uneasy. Restlessness creeps in, not because you are ungrateful, but because your soul recognizes stagnation before your mind can explain it. This discomfort is a warning system, not a flaw. Chosen ones are wired for movement, growth, and expansion. While others settle into routines that slowly dull their awareness, you feel an internal push to evolve. Comfort, when prolonged, becomes a quiet trap. It softens urgency, weakens vision, and lulls purpose to sleep. Your spirit resists that sleep. Stillness feels unnatural to you because you were not designed to remain where you are. Each season of ease is meant to be temporary, a resting place, not a residence. That inner tension is your destiny knocking, reminding you that there is more ahead, more required, more waiting to be activated. This does not mean you reject peace. It means you reject stagnation. You move when others pause. You question when others settle. Trust that instinct. It is ancient and intentional. The same force that disrupts your comfort is the one guiding you forward. When you feel restless in ease, it is not anxiety, it is alignment, calling you to the next level. Number 8. Believing this changes everything, and that's why you resist it. The resistance you feel is not disbelief, it is recognition. On a soul level, you already know this is true. That's why the message unsettles you. Acceptance would change how you see your past, your pain, and your future. It would reframe every delay, every loss, every moment of isolation as intentional. And that realization is heavy. Once you acknowledge that you are chosen, comfort excuses dissolve. You can no longer blame circumstances, people, or timing. Responsibility replaces confusion. Fear loses its hiding place because purpose demands courage. You are no longer allowed the safety of living small or blending in. This is why many chosen ones hover at the edge of belief. It is easier to doubt than to accept the weight of assignment. Belief requires alignment. Alignment requires discipline, and discipline demands sacrifice. But here is the truth. The moment you stop resisting, clarity begins. The pieces of your life start arranging themselves into meaning. Your pain gains purpose. Your endurance gains direction. You realize your life was never ordinary. It was always directional. Believing doesn't inflate the ego, it humbles the soul. Because once you know you are chosen, you understand that your life is no longer just yours. It becomes a responsibility to rise, to serve, and to become. Conclusion. Have you ever felt a presence within you that refuses to be silenced? A calling so deep it rattles your bones, yet so subtle that the world cannot see it. If you are watching this, know this first. You are not here by accident. There is a force that has been shaping you, testing you, and guiding you long before you could even name it. The prophets spoke of chosen ones, souls awakened before their time, carrying a weight invisible to the untrained eye, yet undeniable to the spirit. You may have felt isolated, misunderstood, or delayed, as though life itself conspires against you. But every trial, every moment of confusion, every restless night is not punishment, it is initiation. The universe, the divine, or whatever sacred presence you believe in, has been preparing you for something far greater than mere survival. Tonight, we will peel back the veil. We will confront the truths others fear to speak, the spiritual realities your soul already knows, and the power that has been quietly growing within you. This message may be difficult to believe, but by the end, you will see why every struggle, every delay, every feeling of being different has been perfectly orchestrated. You are chosen, and your awakening starts now.